Hey guys, Sortex here, and today I'm bringing you a deck profile. Yeah, this time I'm actually doing the deck profile this time, not my friend. So we're going to do a deck profile on Kagero. Blademaster just got support in set 11. So yeah, I think this is the first Kagero deck profile on this channel. I think, yeah. So I did have a Kagero deck before. It was Overlords, but I didn't really like it that much, so I didn't post anything about it. And I stuck with Blademaster, but that wasn't good. But now the support came out, so now it's good. So, anyways, I'm just gonna get started. So starting Vanguard, people are gonna bite my butt for this because it's not Conroe, but I use Wyvernkid, Deidda. That's how his name. So his skill is that he has the Blaze skill. This is obviously a Blaze deck. You know, Blaze it. 420 Blaze it. So yeah, so Blaze is whenever you have more rear guards than your opponent, your Vanguard becomes Blaze. Then you can proc skills off. So his skill is Generation Break 1. When your Vanguard becomes blazing, so once your Vanguard is Blaze, you can retire this unit. If you do, you can countercharge one, draw a card, and choose one of your units, and it gets 3k. I like this card. Essentially, if you use it on your first stride turn, you can basically get back your counter blast you used to pay for your stride skill costs. Drawing a card, which is good. That's one. The draw power is one of the, for me, was one of the main problems Blademaster had when I was playing this deck. I wasn't drawing enough. Even I was running like 5 draws. It wasn't enough. So the extra draw power really helps. And yeah, you're losing this guy when you get it, but you're getting a draw. You're giving one of your units 3k, and you're counter charging, so the cost is fair. You can run Conroe. I'm pretty sure a lot of people will say just run Conroe because who doesn't like searching out great like your things. I would agree too. If you have Conroe, you should run Conroe. But he's a good alternate if you don't have Conroe. So yeah. So grade 3s, obviously 4 of Blademaster G or Dragonic Blademaster Kouen. Basically the new version of Blademaster. So he has Blaze. And then before we go, we'll go on his stride skill. So his stride skill is Counterblast 1. When a G unit strides on top of him, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's rear guard, retire it, and then choose one of your units with the Blaze ability, and it gets 3k until end of turn. So his first skill is basically the original Blademaster, just a little bit more. So for Counterblast 1, you're essentially retiring a dude, which is cool, and then you're giving a unit with Blaze 3k. Note that is not rear guard restricted, so you can choose your Vanguard if you stride into Ziegenburg, since Ziegenburg has Blaze, and then you can give himself 3k, so he becomes a 29k attacker, which doesn't really make it. But yeah, overall he's the go-to ride you want on in this deck. And his Generation Break 2 skill is really good too. Generation Break 2, at the end of each turn, if your opponent has no rear guards, choose one grade 3 with a Blaze ability from your drop zone and return to hand. So basically you're getting a free stride fodder back. I run 6, in this deck I run 6 grade 3s with Blaze, so it should be pretty easy to get it back if you pitch one for stride, and then clear out your opponent's field at the end of by the end of your turn, then you can get it back. So yeah, again, yeah, he's the better grade 3 to ride. You can still ride the old Blademaster. It just, you won't get the 3k off, which honestly, just adding power to any of your units, it's a lot better than just retiring, and that's it. So yeah. Next, run 2 Jaugo. He's a really good rear guard grade 3. He's really it really comes in handy. So he has Blaze, obviously. Since he's a grade 3, you can take him, you can bring him back with Kouhen's GB2 skill. His other skill is on place, counter blast 1, soul blast 1. If you do choose one of your opponent's rear guard in the same column as retire it. So that's okay, I guess, for counter blast. But you don't use them for that skill. You use them for the last skill. Generation Break 1 Vanguard or rear guard circle. If your Vanguard is blazing, he gets 2k for every open rear guard on your opponent's back row. So if you're on your Ziegenburg turns, you should be able to clear out the back row, so he becomes a 17k attacker before boost, which is pretty nice. And then, yeah, again, rear guard Pacific, nothing else. If you ride him on Vanguard, you're gonna have a really bad time. And then I run 2 of the original Blademaster, just because a lot of your cards need Blademaster in its name. So just having 6 Blademasters instead of 4, I just feel more comfortable with that. I guess so. Stride skill, counter blast 1 when you stride, retire dude. Again, similar to Kouen, but he doesn't get he doesn't give a 3k. And then his GB2 skill is if you have more rear guards than your opponent, he gets 5k to crit, which is it's just okay, I guess. Crit on hit, crit pressure, yeah. For grade 2s, I love this guy. I love this guy, but I can't say his name. For Mbudi, yeah. Again, I love this guy. Blaze, he has his skill is Generation Break 2. When this unit attacks the Vanguard, and if you have a Vanguard with Blademaster and it's blazing, you can counterblast 1. If you do, draw a card, and he gets 2k for every open rear guard circle on your opponent's side. So if you wipe your opponent's whole board, he becomes a 19k attacker. That's a 10k shield already before boost, which is pretty nice. And you're getting a card out of it. You're drawing a card too. More draw power. This is something that Blademaster needed like a long time ago, and he finally got one, which is really good. Yeah, he's pretty stable. So like 4 at least. You don't worry about counterblast because you got cards like unflip for you, which we'll get to. Well, we already went through the starter, but there's a few other cards that can counterblast. And here's one of them, even though it's on hit. I run 4 Nadim, because he's a really good card too. He has Blaze, and then his skill is when on rear guard, when he attacks a Vanguard, if your Vanguard is blazing, until end value he becomes an 11k attacker and gets the skill auto Generation Break 1. When he hits a Vanguard, you can countercharge 1. So yeah, really good card. The black part of his second skill is not Generation Break restricted, so if your Vanguard is blazing when you're in grade 2, you can become an 11k attacker, which is pretty nice. And just have the on-hit pressure for your opponent to think about if they want to give you back your resources, which is pretty nice too. But that on-hit countercharge is really good. And then the last grade 2, you can kind of switch out whatever you feel like. I run 3 Shakurs. He's just a nice 11k attacker when you're blazing at Generation Break 1, which is nice. It's not like that 12k Generation Break 1 Vanguard attacker I used back then. Like, I think you know what I'm talking about. Is that it came from G set 1. He only gets 3k if you attack the Vanguard. So this guy's way better than that card. And then his other skill is that when you place him on rearguard circle, Generation Break 1, if you have less rearguards than your opponent, you can counterblast 1. You can choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it, which is pretty nice. On place retire, just to thin out your opponent's field. So yeah, again, I feel like this card can be switched out for something else. If you guys have any ideas, you can post it on the comments below. But for now, I'm just gonna run 3 Shakurs because 11k attacker on Blaze is nice. For grade 1s, I just realized before I started recording this, but I still run 4 Fodders. Honestly, because you have Kouen's GB2, you can actually drop it down to 3 and replace it with something else. Because honestly, you have with Kouen, you can bring back your grade 3s to stride again. So unless you're playing as Narukami, which you can just bind them away. But anywho, yeah. So around 4, but that's because I was lazy and forgot to take switch it out. But you can, because you run Kouen, you can run 3 and use this for something else. But Fodders are here because they're Fodders. So yeah. Next, another key card you should run 4 of. Dragonic Nadel. He is really good. I'm pretty sure you all know this if you play Conroe. His skill is when your opponent's rear guard is put to the drop zone by due to an effect of a card. So he needs to be on the field already when you retire something to proc his skill. If you have a Vanguard with Dragonic Blademaster in its name, it's an end of turn, it gets the skill auto. When your Vanguard becomes blazing, you countercharge 1. So there you go, you got your countercharge. And then he becomes an 11k booster, which is pretty nice. So 11k booster plus Mbudi, which becomes a 19k attacker if you have an empty field. Your opponent has an empty field. That's a 30k column already. Let me see, 19 plus 11. Yeah, 30. That's a 30k column right there. See, I have to math it out. So yeah, so like him plus Mbudi equals with an empty field equals a big column, like by itself. That's if you didn't give it like the 3k from Blademaster's on strat skill. So yeah, he's really essential in a Blademaster deck because of the counter charge. Because you counter charge in this deck, so having your counter charger is really nice. Yeah, so he's a definite 4 of. Again, another card similar to the grade 2. You can swap it out for anything if you feel like. But I run 2 Tahir. He is essentially the grade 2 version of Shakur. So blazing Generation Break 1, he becomes a 9k attacker booster. And then on place, if you have less rear guards than your opponent, you can counterblast 1 to retire something. So yeah, again, like Shakur, you can replace this with something else. But for now, I like Tahir. And then for PGs, I know what you're going to say. What was this doing here? Honestly, you should be running 4 of Protect Orb. The only reason why I'm running 3 is because I'm not going to spend $20 friggin' on a fucking PG. So that's why I had to go a cheap option and run Reas. Reas is not a bad choice either. Cause she has her skill is at the end of turn this unit boosted. If your Vanguard's blazing, you can Soul Blast 1 and return to hand. So it's a recyclable PG when you place it on rear guard circle, which is nice because if you're stuck like not having a booster or anything and you have her, you can just call her down and just end turn blaze soul back, bring it back to hand. So yeah, but ideally you want to run 4 Protect Orb if you have the money for it. But since I don't have the money for it, because again, it's like, is it still $20? Oh no, let me just check. But yeah, ideally you want to run 4 Protect Orb Dragons, but if you want a cheaper option, Reas is not a bad choice because of, yeah, still $20, yeah. But for a cheaper option, Reas is not a bad choice either. She has Blaze, so she can proc up Blaze skills when your Vanguard needs to, and recyclable PG too. And finally, trigger lineup, which I think you might contest to. So yeah, I only run 5 crits, 4 of the Blademaster crit, 5 draws. So 3 of Gattling Claw, because who doesn't want to retire pesky starters? And then 2 Artpique, I think that's his name. He's basically a Marvel clone. Honestly, it's up for draw triggers. It's up to your preference which one you want to run more. I think this this kind of setup is ideal for draw triggers. You could do 4 Gattling Claw and 1 Artpique. But I think this one's the more ideal. I think a lot of people run this kind of lineup. 2 of the new stand trigger. It's just my tech of. I just really like the skill. That's why I run her. So her skill is she has Blaze, which is nice. And then her skill is put her in the bottom of the deck. When attack of your unit with Blaze ability, so most of your units does have Blaze, so it will proc if it hits. If it hits a Vanguard, you can, and your Vanguard's blazing, you can put it at the bottom of the deck. If you do, countercharge 1 and then choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. So again, more on hit pressure. So if you have her out and you have your Mbudi Nadel combo, which is swinging for like 30k, they're either going to drop a whole bunch of cards just to make sure you don't get a counter charge and a retire, or they do let you hit and you get a counter charge and retire. So yeah. Only I Tekken 2. Some games they're like running 2, you might not see her all the time. I just like having her because I like her skill. And then 4 heals, obviously. Positive Dracokid, the Fires Collection one. When you use it to G-Guard with Advanced Guard Dragon, you can, if you have 1 or less card face up in UG's damage zone, you can countercharge 1. So yeah. Overall, I think the trigger lineup is pretty standard-ish, besides the stand triggers. If you're not going to run the stand triggers, then 6 crit, 6 draws. If you feel like you want to run more draws, then you can do 7 draws. Because Blademaster, I feel like Blademaster needs the draw power. Alright, on to the G zone. I'm just hitting my camera. Obviously, the new best stride for Blademaster. Flare Arms Ziegenburg. He's the new stride that came out in set 11. And here's a nice little eye candy for you, SP. He is your restander that is not an overlord. So, great. He has Blaze, so you can use it to target for the starter skill to give it 3k. His first skill is Soul Blast 1 and Persona Flip. You choose one of your opponent's rear and retire it. Simple as that. And if you do that on your first strike, you instantly become GB2. Which is good, because then you can proc off Mumdi's skill, you can proc off Kouhen's skill. You can proc off a lot. Like, you can get your GB2 ready. And you can accelerate for GB8, like this too. And then the other skill, so it's once per turn. And then the other skill, which I think people just want to use a lot, and people like the card for, is Generation Break 3. At the end of the battle that this unit attacked, if this unit is blazing, you can counterblast 1 and choose the same number of cards as the same number of your opponent's rear guards and discard them. He stands and he gets minus drive 2. Yeah, so again, he's your restander. And essentially, if you play this deck really well, you can easily restand. No, okay, it should be really easy. You can easily restand just for counterblast 1. You can, like, if you play your cards right, you can retire your opponent's field easily, and then pay the cost just counterblast 1. You don't have to discard because they have no rear guards on their field. At most, for me, the most cards I had to pitch when I played this deck was 2 cards. That's because I just ran out of ways to kind of kill cards on the field, which is also which is a thing that, one problem now. A lot of your rearguards don't really retire things. They only have things that I'm trying to say. The only benefit of having benefit from getting units retired or having open rearguard circles. You do have Shakur and you do have Tahir to retire, but that's only if you have less rearguards, and it's only specifically saying less rearguards, not equal or less. So you need to have less rearguards already. But yeah, overall, like, you should be able to easily. Oops, you should be easy to retire your opponent's field on your first or on your second shot at this. But yeah, he's obviously a 4 of. You need to run him. Next, 3 Titan. I know what you're gonna say. Why you only have 3 Titan? I only have 3 Titan. I can't find a 4th Titan. I was kind of banking on pulling an SP pack on the KSP bot, but nope, we didn't get the Conroe SP pack. So 3 Titans, still a good card. You still run him, obviously. Counterblast 1, Persona flip anything. Choose the same number of opponent's rearguards equal to the same amount of Titans have faced up and retire them, and then it gets the skill. If you're blazing, he gets a crit. It's nice. It's great. So yeah. And and I run this guy because he's don't run him. I just only run him because I don't have another Titan. This would be my 4th Titan, but I don't have another Titan, so I just choose him. I'm not even going to a skill because it's not really that important. One Vortex Desire is just on. I have him just in case my opponent doesn't really have a field for me to retire on my first stride. Like, if I feel like on my first stride Ziegenburg is not going to do much, I can just stride onto him and then flip over a Titan. So I'm GB2 already. So yeah, other than that, like, honestly, your first stride would be Ziegenburg. If you find Ziegenburg is not the ideal first stride in some occasions, then Vortex Desire is probably the next best thing. 2 Root Flares, because I still like a column retire is still pretty good. Especially if you want to get rid of pesky resist units, you can just target the unit behind it and then it dies. So yeah. Blazing Burst Dragon, your GB8. Just is your GB8. It comes in handy when it comes in handy. So when he attacks Generation Break 8, retire all of your opponent's rearguards, and all your rearguards gets 10k until end of turn. And then if you retire 3 or more, he gets 10k in a crit. That's pretty nice. Obviously, he's your ender because he's GB8. So yeah. And for G Guardians, 2 Denial Griffin. We all know what Denial Griffin does. There's no for people who don't know it, essentially counterblast 1, choose one of your opponent's rearguard that's attacking and retire it. So basically just negate the attack. That's nice. 1 Advance Guard, just to work off with your heal trigger, and still he's not pretty bad either. Soul Blast 1 and then flip a G Guardian. When his unit is placed on the Guardian Circle, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's grade 1 arrested rearguard and retire it. So you can choose a booster, and then they lose their booster. So that's nice. And then it just helps accelerate again for GB8. And finally, my favorite G Guardian right now, because he's so good. Not really, but no, he's pretty good. He's only restricted to. I'll get to the skill. So, Absalam. So his skill is Counterblast 1. When he's placed on the Guardian Circle, if your Vanguard is being attacked by your opponent's Vanguard, you can Counterblast 1. If you do, he gets 10k for every open rearguard circle on your opponent's side. He helped me out so much. I was playing, for example, I was playing against a Diablo player. He sacked his 3 rearguards to give the guard restrict. So he had at least 4 open rearguards. And then I was like, okay, I don't retire any of my dudes. G-guard with him. He gets 40k shield. So he's now 55 plus my 11k Vanguard. I'm 66. Can you hit with triple drive? No, you can't. Okay, cool. Thanks. So yeah, he's really helpful when it comes to like when it comes to like decks that retire their own dudes on their own turns just to give like a power buff, so like really helpful against like probably Tachikaze for sure, Diablo for sure, and essentially any card that essentially just kills their field just to give like a power buff or something. So yeah, one of him. And that is essentially it for this deck profile. I'm sorry if I like stuttered or like slurred or say something stupid. I'm recording this really early in the morning. I'm kind of still but yeah, overall, the Blademaster deck is a whole lot better now than how it was before. The support really helped it a lot, especially with those with those cards that help you draw. Mbudi for sure. And yeah, just overall, like when I played Conroe before, like I don't usually have fun, but now because of the new support, I'm having a lot more fun with it now. I'm actually enjoying it a lot. And yeah, if you like to make any recommendation to the deck, like say like, oh no, your grade 2 lineup is shit, you should be running him, or no, why the fuck are you running stand triggers, you should be running stand triggers. I'll take the comments down below if you like to suggest like things you would change or add and stuff like that. But I give again, if you like what you see, you can like, comment, subscribe. You can check out other videos. We have some other deck profiles and my latest check out what's the latest upload I did. And yeah, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.